Previously, I've been enjoying my solo cruise holiday aboard the Princess Cruises ship Royal Princess. We've spent days at sea, sailing from Sydney, calling in at Vanuatu on the way. But now we're going to have 3 days on land. After all those days at sea, we've made it to Fiji. This is my 53rd country. We're in Lautoka today, so I'm going to get off and go and explore. I'm going to get my breakfast first and then see what there is in Fiji. So make sure you come along. We've arrived in Lautoka in Fiji. This is just the view from my cabin. Yeah, we're in Lautoka today, which I think is up on the west coast of the island. So I'm going to get off the ship and go and explore. There were shuttle buses that were taking people out, but the latest one was 10 o'clock, which is just way too early for me. I think it's near enough that now. I'm going to go and have my breakfast, and then I'm going to walk into the city. It's only half an hour's walk, so come along with me for the adventure today. I headed up to Horizon Court for my breakfast. Personally, I prefer something less formal in the morning, and I like to just help myself in the buffet. But if you want something more formal, you can head down to the dining rooms and get waiter service. There are lots of options too if you're gluten free or if you have any other food allergies. I've been skipping breakfast on sea days because, to be honest, I've eaten that much food, I don't really need it. But anyway, because I'm going out, I thought I'd get a nice cooked breakfast and a cup of tea. I really don't like the design of this buffet. It's all nooks and crannies everywhere. There's plenty of food and plenty of choice, but I couldn't even find where the tea and coffee station was. Somebody had to show me. They're all hidden around corners and stuff. But anyway, breakfast is good. It's really quiet now because a lot of people have obviously got up early, so get my view of Fiji while eating my breakfast. Really nice and quiet this time of morning when everyone's out, and it's actually crew drill as well, so it's a bit quiet still. So here we are in Lautoka, Fiji, which looks far bigger on a map, and then you see it, it's like you can see everywhere from the top of the ship. We're in a container port, but you can walk through this port, so I can see a couple of people heading off down there. Obviously you've got the shuttle buses. Oh, it looks like they've got a little market down there as well. I'll have a look at that. I need some souvenirs at some point. I'm really impressed with these big tall mountains in the background. I don't know whether they're volcanoes or what they are, but very nice. You could book a shuttle bus for $20 return, but the last ones were 10 o'clock and that was all sold out really quickly, so I don't quite understand how the shuttles don't run all day and you can just get on and off. But anyway, I'm not worried because I do like a walk and it doesn't look too far. Famous last words. And we've got a beautiful Royal Princess there. There's a film or something going on the big screen, which if you can hear any noise in the background, I'll try and cancel the sound out. Oh, now they're bing bonging. I did spot the lifeboats out. We've been bing bonging since about 9:30 this morning. They've been doing crew drill. It's been a full crew drill today. They simulated a fire on deck 7. I don't mind them doing that. It's a bit noisy, obviously, while you're trying to get ready, but you get to see what their life's like at sea. And they're keeping us safe, so that's the main thing. It's fairly quiet on the ship this morning. Most people have got off already, walking into town and stuff. It's Barbie on the big screen, so if you want to film, there's people in the hot tubs and the pool down there watching it. You could get yourself a sunbed. Lots of people have got off the ship. There's always that bunch that say, oh, I'm not getting off here, just enjoy the ship. Going around the back of the ship, so this is just above my cabin really. Oh, I've not been up here. Some sports nets. If you want to kick about or a game of basketball, tennis courts, pretty much any sport you want to do there. And this looks like, yeah, got a golf net. Oh, sports deck, I didn't even know there was a sport. Right, we'll go up and have a look. So there you go, a little putting green. Not the biggest of crazy golf, but looks like the clubs are just there, so you can help yourself. We're at the back of the ship here. carrying on round the back of the ship. View over Lautoka there. See the ensign there. The ship's registered in Southampton. Oh, you like your walk a mile. 7 laps, it is only a small one, this one. We've got a jogging lane and a walking lane. I think I'm going to do enough walking over into town, so I'm not going to keep going. Done my lap to see my first glimpse of Fiji. It's so hot. It looks very industrial. Let's see what we see as we get walking out into those palm trees. I'm very happy to be here. So I've done my lap of the deck. That's quite enough walking for now. I'm going to go and go into Lautoka, see what there is. I've just met a British couple who I met the other day on my tour in Vanuatu, and they said they got on the shuttle bus and just did a lap and came back because there wasn't much there. So who knows, but we'll go and find out, shan't we? One thing about this, there's not many solos on this ship. I haven't met any anyway, so there isn't much of a solos group, but I have talked to loads of people. So don't think just because you're on your own you can't talk to couples and bar staff and pretty much anyone who wants to talk to you. I've sat next to people in the theatre and in the restaurants and all sorts. In fact, actually last night at dinner in the restaurant there was an Australian couple who'd actually seen my videos, and bearing in mind how many followers I have, that was amazing. You come 10,000 miles and first time anyone's actually recognised me, so that was awesome. So hello to you if you know who you are, if you saw me filming my food last night. Anyway, time for me to get off the ship and go out and see what Lautoka is. So let's go and have a look what there is. Go and set foot in Fiji. Over 5:30 today, and this is the ship's agent. So if you have any problems, you can at least contact the ship while you're ashore. Biosecurity in Fiji, not allowed to take any food or anything, and clearly no drugs, but hopefully you'd know that already. Do an afternoon movie if you want. I was thinking it would be quite quiet in the piazza, but no, it's you feel quite busy, but it's a good way to see the ship when it's a bit quieter if you go wandering on a port day. So I'm down on deck 4 for the gangway. Pinged off the ship, walking down the gangplank. I'm very unceremoniously, I'm stepping foot in Fiji. These were the shops that I saw at the top. Okay, so if you didn't do the shuttle bus, there are loads of taxis. They're also selling tours and stuff. They're trying to get you on tours for tomorrow because we're now in Fiji for 3 days. And there's little souvenir shops. So there are taxis coming in and out. I've already got my dog regiment, and that's the important bit done. Now, I'm just going to walk into town. Let's see what there is. Nothing else. I've never set foot in this part of the world before. Fish down there. So I think the word for hello must be bula, because everyone says bula to you. So I'm going to have to ask next time a friendly person asks me. I'll have to ask what it means. But I think it means hello or welcome or something like that.
It turns out that's exactly what it meant, translating literally to life or good health.
So it's actually not too far to the front of the port. You've got your containers there, but looks like they put the cones out for the tourists. I'm trusting this is the tourist walkway, and once I get through the gate, I'm trusting I'll get through the gate. No customs or anything, obviously that's all done by the ship. They do say bring a copy of your passport and photo ID, so I've got my UK driving licence with my photo on, and I've got a photocopy of my passport, but I've left my original safely locked away. Literally as I was walking through the gate, the security guard on the gate shouted across at me and scared the blooming life out of me. I thought, oh no, I'm going to get pulled over, I'm doing something wrong. And he was just being friendly and saying hello. So they are very friendly people, the Fijians, already. We get out of the port area, and now we're coming to some really nice little gardens and roundabouts. Hello. You know, the lorry drivers are shouting across and waving to you. Must be like, oh, tourists are here. Palm tree line walks. It's absolutely sweltering. Brought plenty of water with me, got my hat on, got my sun cream on. Oh, you can learn about Lautoka's sugar mill industry, so they've actually got history on the board, so I'm going to read that. It's a shame that board's gone because there's some connection to Captain Bligh and the mutiny on the Bounty in Fiji.
Fiji is one of the Commonwealth countries, and the late Queen visited in 1958.
So they had indentured service. Sugar is the main economic driver for the city, there you go. So this is one of the perks of walking, because if I come on the bus I don't get to read this. Fiji had one of the first free passenger trains in the world. Stopped in 1974, I suppose nothing's lasts forever. Lautoka is Fiji's second port city after Suva, which is the capital, and we're going to Suva tomorrow, so you get to see the difference there. Not sure if you can hear the birds in the background there tweeting away. This is what I think of when I see Fiji: palm trees and greenery. Maybe don't think of somebody's trainers hung over a power line. A little bird next to it there. Bit of a main road. The pavements are alright actually. They said uneven pavements. These are proper paved walkways. This feels easy enough for anyone to walk who's got decent walking ability. People in cars just wave at you. I don't know how much of a novelty tourists are. Lots of people on the ship seem to have been here before, but I've had all sorts of people waving at me. This is good. It's really pretty. There's birds tweeting away, and I'm sure they're going to be more exotic than the ones we have at home. Let's keep my eye out. Oh, there you go. Don't know what they are. See the flag of Fiji there flapping away just on a lamppost. Just beautiful colourful flowers everywhere as well. I'm cutting out all the non-scenic bits. It's not the most scenic of places, but did I mention I'm in Fiji? That makes up for everything. I did get advance notice that if you need an emergency cold drink stop, there is a McDonald's drive-through. Now, I'm not here for the shopping, but it is Sunday and all the shops are closed. Actually, some of the village tours and things don't run on a Sunday. I think we got our agenda reshuffled because we were meant to go to New Caledonia and that got cancelled as a port because they're having political troubles. So they shuffled our agenda and they moved Lautoka to a Sunday, which it wasn't originally. And they seem to have messed that up a bit because now you can't actually do tours here. I'm just content to walk because if nothing else, I've now got a picture in my head of what Fiji looks like. You know, it's a main road, it could be anywhere. Well, it could be anywhere in England if we had sun and palm trees, of course. The Tapu Centre, that's one of the places where the bus stops, so I've already walked it in 20 minutes, I'd say.
At this point I reached the centre of the town where some of the shops were actually open on a Sunday.
So Jack's of Fiji was mainly a clothes shop, but they did have some souvenirs, so I got a few little bits. This is Fijian money, so we've got the Fijian dollar, a 10 and a 5. A 10's worth about £3.70. Don't film them while I've still got them. I only got 10s in the UK, but I've just got a 5 in my change, so and a few little coins. Yeah, further in the centre, there's more things open. Baby clothes, sports shops. There's quite an Indian community I was reading, and I've noticed there's quite a few shops selling Indian stuff. Lots of clothes shops as well. Although there's quite a lot of shops closed, there's a fair few open as well. Plenty of taxis around, that's for sure. Yeah, not so much in the way of tourism, but there's definitely a lot of clothes shops. So I've literally walked down the high street in 15 minutes. There doesn't seem to be much more in that direction, but it turns down and it heads this way. Looks like you have the bus station there, by the sounds of it. The people are really welcoming. I found the Lautoka Club, which somebody's just told me is a pub. Not sure I want to go to the pub, but it has got a lovely view. Beautiful trees, there's a bit of grass there, and then there's a sea view over there. I'm not quite sure how to get to the seafront. Maybe you do go into the pub. So I've walked myself around in a circle. Across the rail lines. It looks all the way down there. I don't know, I presume this was a historic train rather than a current one. Far too easy for me to just walk on and it just looked very grassed over. I'm going to go and have a look into Poo City, see what it's like in the shopping city. Yeah, just a shopping mall. Worth coming in here just for the aircon though. Ooh, it's fierce. We've got supermarkets, and also they seem to do like Australia, have off licenses separate. Currency exchange, they will do currency exchange on the ship. In fact, actually, there were local shopkeepers coming in to do money exchange and stamps on the ship today. Upstairs is just a bit of a food hall. So there you go, that's really it in Lautoka. There is not a lot here if you're not going on tour. Shops, so you can go and do some shopping. There's a lot of stuff for Little India, you can see there. Little India, very much an Indian community here obviously, as much as the Fijian. Don't really know what I expected. Well, that's Lautoka. Spent about an hour here, done a little bit of souvenir shopping, wandered around the bits of shops there are. There's not a great deal here in fairness, but do you know what? It's just nice to say I've been. It's not a destination resort. I can understand why a lot of the Australians who come this way quite regularly say, yeah, they're not getting off the ship today. But I think it's worth it. It's a shame we've come on a Sunday. I think it'd be a bit livelier if everything was open, but they're all clothes shops anyway, so unless you really like shopping, it's not It's not very scenic and lots to do in that sense. But I'm still glad to be here, so that's the main thing. And my first day in Fiji. Now I'm going to walk back along the same main road that I came along and go back to the ship. Enjoy the ship for the afternoon. It's boiling. You don't notice it until you get in those air-conditioned shops. So if you need to cool down, get in the supermarkets. And the mall. I've only just started walking and you can see the ship over there in the distance, towering over the city. And the Golden Arches and McDonald's if you're really desperate. Well, I bought my drink in the supermarket, so spent a little bit of currency, brought it with me. Fijian dollars, you can change it all over the place. I got mine at home before I came, to be honest, just a little bit so as I could get my souvenirs. You're always going to spend something. Back at the ship and the entrance to the port, I can see the path goes in the other way. So while we're exploring and being adventurous, let's go and have a look. So I've crossed over at the roundabout, going up this path, and a noisy digger there at the Pine Wood Yard. Who knew? Must be an industry. Make sure you keep yourself well hydrated, it is really hot. Little bottles of water are included in the drinks package and you can get them delivered to your room on room service. But for weird reasons, they charge you for the big bottles of water. I wonder what they use pine wood chips for. Is that the stuff they compress into chipboard? Don't know. Somebody's working on a Sunday. Across there, I'm wondering if that's something to do with the sugar mill, because that is meant to be the main industry. Very industrial. And keep out sugar loading in process. Interesting. Obviously we're adopting the container port. Use it as a cruise port as well. Not a huge port. Very industrial this side, so there wasn't a huge amount to see, but it's worth coming just to get a look at some of these old big buildings. I think that's worth seeing. I always like to get into the back streets and see some of the local life as well as the shiny tourist bits that they put on for you. Although in fairness, Lautoka is not a tourist resort, it's very much just an ordinary city. It's actually Fiji's second city. It's a proper working town. It's very interesting to see. That said, there's not much more up this path, so I'm going to turn around and actually head back to the ship, which is just there. So I'm just getting back into the port. I've been out for about 2 hours, to be honest, not quite that even. That's including walking there and back. So you really don't need the shuttle bus unless you're not very mobile. Heading back to the ship now. It's very nice to say I've been here and seen it. I wouldn't rush back necessarily, but if it was on a port itinerary, of course I'd come back. Nice for a first taste of Fiji. I have to say though, I've got back to my cabin after all that heat and I've pumped up the air conditioning, I've got it onto cold, so hopefully that'll give it a blast. Well, I've really enjoyed my day in Lautoka. It's very hot. There's not a lot here in fairness. I can understand why people said there's nothing to see, but do you know what? A few shops and stuff like that's fine, but I've seen a bit of a way of life. This is Fiji's second city, so that's what people in Fiji's second city live like. So I mean, that's worth seeing in its own right, isn't it? And then just in the background, you've got these beautiful islands. I think the view's worth it just for anything else. So I'm glad I've been to Fiji. It's another country ticked off my list, and we're here for 2 more days as well. So it wasn't the most exciting of places to start with, but might get more exciting as we carry on. And I've got some nice souvenirs. I've had a lovely day. It's very hot though, and to be honest, it's so hot. I think it was 29 degrees, but it's really humid heat. So I've come back after doing all that walking, and first thing's drunk loads of water, and second thing's just had to sit on the bed for 10 minutes and just got my breath back, because the heat tires you out, that's for sure. I'm on my holidays though, so don't mind. Just love the view of those islands in the background. Actually, just looking on the horizon, there's islands all the way around in the distance there. Some closer than others. So a lot of my souvenirs, like my fridge magnet, it's from the Fijian Islands. Fiji is more than just this big island that we're on. The ship's quiet. It is quite easy to come and just have a look at some of the lounges when there's not loads of people in them. So this is the Vista Lounge. is where the bingo is for the most part, although the Hypnotist second show was on here last night. This is actually a really nice lounge. Lots of places to sit. And they have musicians in here as well. It's the Elite Lounge and the Suite Lounge later on. Yeah, very nice. I like this one.
Next, I headed up to the pool deck for a drink before sail away.
Goodbye, a great road, where the dogs of society go. You can't let me in that house. I'm going back to my blouse.
Just see the cranes moving in the distance there. We're sailing out of Lautoka. Sailing away from Lautoka in Fiji at the end of day one. But we've still 2 more days in Fiji, so plenty more to see. Make sure if you're enjoying it to like and subscribe, follow along, don't miss my Fijian adventure. It's beautiful, absolutely wonderful.
The sun started setting, it's about 5:45 and sunset's been about 6:15, so it'll be going dark soon.
Town up there that I walked to. Can't get over how beautiful these mountains are. That's a skyline, you don't need a skyscraper here. Lots of little islands that we're heading towards there.
I decided on a table for one in concerto for dinner tonight.
So I was tempted to go with pineapple for this one, but it's in cheese and more cheese, so I'm going to have cheese. I'm not quite sure which one. I'm a bit unsold on the mains, but the lady the other day had the fish and chips, which is on every night, and I really like the look of that, so I'm going to do that tonight. This little section of princess favourites are on every single night, so you can always have those, and you can always pay a bit extra for lobster or filet mignon. So you get a little basket of bread. I'm already on my second one there, and then I went for the brie parcel, which looks like that. It's got peanuts and onions and stuff in, but it looks good, and I love brie, so that's not what I was expecting, but it looks very nice. Got fish and chips today. So this is New Zealand Louise cake. It's raspberry and meringue and shortbread apparently.
As usual, there was live music and a show to keep us entertained in the evening, while the Royal Princess made its way to the capital of Fiji, Suva.